That's my hopeful I'm live look. Probably going to run into a redneck out here somewhere. It's Garden 30 time. Look at my tomato wall. Look at that. It's looking really good. We got some bottom rot, and that has, I think it has more to do with water than anything. We've had, this system had not enough water. I'm just trying to get the mic in the right place. This one's looking good though. Look at these. We're just kind of waiting for them to turn into actual tomatoes. I wanted to give you a progress report on the wall we trellised like a week ago. Look at that. Look at those. This little teeny one that I cloned here, it's doing what's gone from like that tall to this tall. We're all the way up to the roof over there. But today, for my Garden 30, I get to harvest garlic. So we're going to go up to the garlic spot. Hi, Chestnut. Yep. Oh, in order to do that, I need my trowel. This is how Garden 30 was. If only I had a badass SOE tool belt to keep all my garden tools in. Wouldn't that be cool? Those of you joining the live stream, go ahead and let people know on social we're live. I'm doing a Garden 30. We'll talk about whatever you want to. Just put comments in and hopefully I'll see them if they're in all caps. I'm using StreamYard today instead of YouTube. So we'll see how that goes. And I'm hoping that'll allow me to see comments even if I like come back and look at the camera later. Right now we're walking up to the garden. So what's going on in the world today? I'll tell you what went on in my world. The outdoor kitty for the chicken processing workshop, and I smoked some pulled pork this weekend. So got that all set up and frozen for, we'll be reheating it for the food. It's kind of hard to open the gate with one hand on the thingy. So here's the garden. Look at that. Look at that horseradish, man. It's looking great. What I really need here is some more rabbit poop, I think. But here's a poke. Boil that first before you eat it. Okay, just got a little bit of green beans. And I keep looking. See, here we go. Here's the first green bean right here. Look at it. Look how teeny it is. That's going to be a green bean. So once that happens, things get real. What I'm hoping will happen tonight is that the sprinkler will not turn on while I'm doing this, because really what I need to do is harvest the garlic I was going to harvest. But here's how Garden 30 goes, guys. I just talk about whatever I'm talking about unless you comment, and then I talk about your comments. So that's up to you, any of you on the live stream. And other than that, it's just random stream of consciousness from Nicole Sauce, which can be good or can be super boring. It just depends on the day. But I'm going to just kind of set this phone up. Ooh, wineberries are right. These are the heart. I'm pretty sure it's time. Oh, it looks like. So we'll here. A little wompish. So guests. Oh, that's me. It was funny. I set this through echoing. The same phone. Let me just comments all. And Oh, something went wrong and the stream stopped. And you're like, what happened? What happened is I got this garlic and it doesn't have bulbs, and I don't know why. It may be that it is too early to harvest, but I don't think that's the issue. Anyway, sorry about that little glitch, guys. And my back was turned, so I don't know how long that went, but hopefully it just does its thing. Okay, well, I looked at the news today and it wasn't worth looking at. What was more exciting for me today is I was out on a walk with the dog and I saw some milkweed. And the milkweed was blooming. It has a beautiful purple flower. Now, a couple things about that. One, the milkweed flower makes me know what milkweed really looks like, which is helpful because sheep aren't supposed to eat milkweed. Oh, this one gave me a difficult time. And because of that, see, look at this, man. I hit it with this trowel. These are not bulbed out, but they're also not bulbing out. So we're going to harvest them anyway, and I'm going to hope some of the ones over that way bulbed out. If not, garlic still tastes good no matter what. So now I've always read about milkweed, never seen it in the flesh. I'm going to talk to Tactical about how deep we bury garlic, because holy cow, this is like too deep. He doesn't know you only put it a couple of, holy cow, like I can't even get to this one, it's so deep. This is probably why it didn't bulb out. I'm going to blame it all on Tactical because he's not here to defend himself. Yeah, I may never get that one out of the ground. I'm going to have to get an actual shovel. I don't know if Tactical's watching this. You know what that means? I got to walk all the way back down the hill and get a shovel. Because the garlic is deeper than the trowel will dig. Garlic should not be planted deeper than the trowel will dig. It should be planted about that deep. And then you put mulch on top of it. Nope, this is like 10 inches into the ground. I'm actually kind of amazed it came up. But garlic's hard to kill. That's why we grow it here. So now I've got to put actual shoes on instead of my sandals and get an actual shovel. And then we're going to do the whole internet thing again. Anyway, back to the news. Here's what I noticed in the news. They're not telling us anything newsworthy. They're just reporting on hysteria and bullshit. That's what's happening in the news. That's my report. I don't know what's really going on in the world because the news doesn't report news anymore. And that's one of the observations a friend of mine recently said about the world. Like, it's so obvious that the news is not reporting news that you can't tell what's going on. I'm like, yeah, it is kind of that way. Hopefully we don't jump over onto the other network. As long as I stay on the outside network on this thing, we don't have glitches, but I'm getting close enough to the house that may not be the case. Anyway, okay, shovel. I need a shovel. I'm going to be pissed if there's no shovel. There's a shovel. The shovel is where the shovel goes. Wah! This is a really trash shovel. I'm not sure it's making it through this season. We'll see. But what do you guys want to hear about today? I can talk to you about how the garlic's super deep. That's my big struggle. Got my outdoor kitchen like a little bit more set up today. Got some stuff here. I'll show it to you. We're walking by it anyway. So this is the outdoor kitchen, and I know it looks kind of cluttered. Oh wait, see. It's like I have to. Can you see it? There we go. That's the outdoor kitchen. Got some stuff drying on the drain board there, just because I was doing some. Hello, chicken. Just doing some cooking for the workshop. That's where I will serve the food at the chicken processing workshop, and we're not having chicken. We are going to have pork. It's kind of a pulled pork, but it's from the ham cut. And because I smoked it, I think it's pink, which is kind of cool. So I got that all. I actually used the knife rather than pulled it and put it into cubes. And then what I'll do at the workshop is bake those to heat them up. Okay, I'm now trying not to stomp on the wineberries. By the way, wineberries hurt when you. Okay, so now we're back to hanging up this thing. So what do you guys want to hear about while I harvest? I feel like the weight needs. This is kind of an interesting. I'm basically attaching this to a doorknob. If the doorknob turns, then the camera turns. Okay, we don't move. What do you want to hear about? You gotta put it in the comments. Justin, you're gonna have to tell me if they're putting comments and I'm not seeing them, because I'm not seeing them. I'm just seeing StreamYard comments. So guys, give me some comments so I know it's working. And nope. Okay. This is the comment I have. Live viewer comments show up on StreamYard. This is an example. Anyway, Garden30 has been a really good thing for me because it kind of gets me to stop, because I have a tendency to work really hard. Gets me to stop for the day and actually spend some time communing with the plants, which is good, right? And it gives me a chance to kind of think about, you know, what I heard about today, news-wise or otherwise. And I don't actually spend that much time looking at the news, but I do get on social media and people complain about things happening in the news. So these are really deep. So that is, I don't know, Garden30 is my time to just kind of remember why I live out in the holler. See, these are bulbed out, so that's good. What we're going to do with the garlic after this is let it cure for a few weeks. If you try to peel garlic right now, like I just, if I go in and cook with this garlic, the peel will feel kind of like a banana peel almost, only a little thinner because it's garlic and not a banana. Hello, goat. And if when you let it cure, that turns into more of the papery thing you're used to in your garlic. So that's why you let it cure. It just really, these bulbs are not as pronounced as usual. Hi. Anyway, I love having this microphone because I can walk away, actually do some work. So that's why I didn't stream Garden30 yesterday, in part because my podcast live stream went for a really long time. Totally nuked that one. This is a fail. But in part because of that, and in part because I wanted to get enough done in the garden to make progress on some things, and I didn't think I could do it while live streaming because I'm actually slower in the garden while live streaming than I am when I just go out and do stuff. So this is elephant garlic, some of this. Yeah, I guess we'll see at the end of the stream because there are some of you on there. If it's just that I, for some reason, can't see any comments in StreamYard on my phone. I probably should find a better technology for this. But streaming straight from YouTube, it's the comments, as you know, get really weird. Anyway, I'm looking forward to some awesome years of garlic that we're going to have because of this. It's kind of like when you're out here that you think about, like, that thing you said to the person that might have been a little grumpy. I've been a little grumpy lately. And that's because people keep coming at me. And, you know, I'm a big girl. I can handle being come at. And I'm like, why would you come at somebody? Oh, you like this? Why would you come at somebody, you know? Here. There you go. It's not, like, I think people just come at people because they're bored. And that's the world that we live in. Like, you come at people because you're bored. And that's kind of weird to come at people because you're bored. Like, what better things do you have to do? But that's what happens. And I kind of think it's bullcrap that we do that. There really is no comment showing. Usually when you're on, you comment, and that's why I'm like skeptical. It's happened to me before on YouTube that you're commenting and I'm not seeing it, so I'm a little worried. So I don't know. I don't have any text messages. My groceries are on the kitchen counter. Yeah, I don't know. Letty, are you watching? I know you're watching, Letty. Are you commenting? Anyway, I don't know. Not seeing comments, guys. I'm sorry. It's hard to be interactive when you don't see comments, but I got garlic to dig, so I'm just going to dig this real garlic, which hopefully by the end of it, I was hoping we'd get more rain than we did. Cool thing about garlic is once you loosen the ground, you can just kind of grab the stalks and pull, and it comes up, unless it's buried super deep. Looks like we're getting some good garlic. I might get the freeze dry some. I'm so excited. But this whole notion that it's okay to hide information from people, while not outdated, because there are people who've always wanted to hide information from people. Going back to, well, forever. Really, you think about when the church would run mass in Latin, even though people didn't speak Latin, and your only advisor was the person who could translate it for you. And we're going to get to a theological discussion about this now that I brought it up, I'm sure, but that was a way of controlling people. And it was kind of a shocking thing when the Bible got translated into languages that people could understand. And, same thing goes for some of the legalese too. Ooh, I see a comment. Headed out for my first run in forever. Yay, caught another live. I'll take you with me. All right. Jody, congratulations. It's really important to get that exercise in. I like to do my walk first thing in the morning. Proud of you for getting that done. My Garden30 is about food production and taking care of plants. And today it's about harvesting garlic. But it's just to hold myself accountable, because accountability is a thing. And the funny thing about, I was at South by Southwest and I saw this really cool presentation. It was a psychologist and her patient who had ADD. I can't tell you if I have ADD or not. I can tell you that I sometimes get distracted. I'll also tell you that some of this garlic was probably ready for me to harvest it days ago. But now I know comments are working. I'm super happy about this. But this presentation was really cool because it was a guy who had ADD, CEO of a company, and he was explaining what he did to counteract or to tap into the advantages of being ADHD and run a company successfully. And then she would explain, his psychologist would explain, here's what's going on and why that works. Oh, see, if it had actually rained worth a darn, this would just be pulling out of them. But no, I have to dig it like a plebe. So he would say things like when he was having trouble concentrating, he found that a change of environment, like going to a coffee shop and having that background noise, would help him. Other times, having any background noise at all was a problem, and that he tried to hold down, quote unquote, real jobs like W-2 jobs and couldn't. So he started his own company and set up a situation where he was boss, so he could do what he wanted, so he could work at home in the silence, or he could come to work and be in the office for different types of activities, tasks he needed to do, or if things weren't going the way he needed them to go, he could take off and go to a coffee shop down the street and work from there. And one of the things that was really important to him to keep him able to focus at all was exercise. So if he did not, go for a run or something, his mind would be racing so bad that he couldn't perform the way he needed. This is a good one. And And he would have never known that was a thing had he not started seeing a psychologist about it. And, he told stories about how his wife had a hard time with his ADHD actually. And she almost left him. And then he started going to the psychologist and figured out how to deal with it, kind of looped her into what was up with him psychologically. And it saved the marriage, that they had a game plan. And if somebody had kept up on her weed, and she would be fighting the weeds right now in the garlic patch. Then they got so bad I didn't want to dig them up. And I accidentally dig up the garlic. Hello, Trevor, you helping? Clover would gladly help me with these weeds. She likes eating them. So I thought it was a really good presentation, not just from if you have ADHD, like how to handle it, but we all have times when whatever environment we're in just isn't really working for us as far as how we're doing stuff, and we're not getting our stuff done. And sometimes figuring out what we work best in is a good way to start addressing that, right? Where we can, yes, these are just pulling out. Now that one did not, neither did that one. That's a big dose. I got two by just pulling them. We can all benefit from figuring out, do I like background noise? Do I not like background noise? Do I want to see, do I need it hot? Do I need it cold? Do I need to be drinking water while I'm thinking about, a complex situation? Do I need to draw it on a dry erase board? I have a whole method where I write presentations. Where did I try to pull these out in this oh, there goes my headset. It happens every time I do this live stream. So we can all benefit from that, because when we figure out how we work best on different types of things, we can communicate with people around us. See, there's one. Maybe cut it in half with the shovel. The ones I cut in half with the shovel are the ones that I cook with in the next week or two. And it can help us create environments where we become productive. I'm a person that a looming deadline, rather than a thing to be dreaded, although I sort of dread them sometimes, a looming deadline is like a super big incentive for me to work extra hours on stuff or to focus really hard. And I can get things done faster than most people, except I don't know what I'm doing. I'm slower than most people, but I can get a lot of things done super fast once I hyper focus, because I don't let any other distractions in. I may not ever get that scroll back. Oh, there it is. And that hyper focus thing that I do freaks people out so bad when they see me do it, because I'll just be like, done, right? It's kind of like how I write an email. I have an email to write today about Self-Reliance Festival, where John Bush has released the recorded sessions in there for sale. And if you went to the event, I have your email on a list, you get 50% off if you want to buy them and watch them. And so I need to send that email. But while I'm at it, I probably should also mention that we have a couple speakers confirmed for the next Self-Reliance Festival who are pretty cool. Hello, goats. And there are ways to get tickets for the next event if you're going to come to that. And we really want anybody who wants to put in for a demo or speakership at this point needs to get their stuff in, because we're choosing the agenda now. And while I think it's obvious on the website, how to do this, you guys are probably laughing. And so very crazy. And then the weeds grab my cord too. Woo! That's some funky looking roots. I gotta show you guys this one. They're really feathery on this one. Usually it's like, I thought it was worms. Yeah, it was like, what is that? It's just funny looking dry roots. I think it's because it's so dry here. Um, anyway, it's obvious to me how to fill the form out, but it's not obvious to everybody. And I want to make sure that maybe people I haven't even heard of who want to do a presentation get their apps in, because pretty soon we're just going to choose some apps we have, or if we don't have enough apps, I'm going to reach out to people I know and say, do you want to speak? But I really want to give a chance for people who are supportive of Self-Reliance Festival, who want to be a part of it, to get their stuff in. So that's got to go in that email. And I've been kind of thinking about it in the background all day as I get ready for the chicken processing workshop. These are some nice looking garlics. But I've also been physically working, like making food we're going to serve people, getting things partially set up. They're not all the way set up yet. They'll be probably tomorrow. The rest of it will be done. We wish that rain had been more inches of rain, because stupid garlic has to be dug instead of pulled. Be bitter about this the whole time. He's not being gracious and positive. Wow, this is a good one. And anyway, so I've been thinking about it in the background as I work. What'll happen next is I'll sit at my desk, and that email will be written in between 5 and 7 minutes. And then I will send it to my editor, also known as Mama Sauce, and she will find a typo or two. And then we'll send it out. Other people, when writing an email like that, take an hour or two. I just don't, because I've literally been writing this email in my head as I do other things. And that's what I mean by hyper focus. Like, it's not that I don't have time to scatter. Right now, I'm in a time of scattering, and I'm thinking about, digging garlic and promoting the weather that we've had this year. But I'm also in the background with this computer in my head is helping me come up with both that email and the one for Hollywood that's going to go out. It explains the coffee of the month and some changes coming to coffee love. Prices are going to go up. These numbers coming, I'll talk about a little bit. They're not as horrifically high as the mainstream media would like you to think they are. But my raw ingredients went up, and I thought shipping was going to be the thing. But that's what changing prices. So you know what? My freight charge for this pallet that I just ordered is the same it's been all year. One of these times that's going to go up, guys, because there's no way diesel prices have happened. What's happening with diesel prices now, and my freight charges don't go up. But so far, by some miracle of modern freightage, my freight fees do not go up. However, my raw bean cost has gone up, and while production of the beans is not really higher, what I know about the price of those beans includes the shipping of a container from Africa, from America, from the beans you're talking about, to here. And those prices have most definitely gone up. In fact, the reason I've been unable to get the Rwandan coffee in, the dang bags were stuff where? Rwanda. Coffee harvested, straight here, backed up after processing, stored properly. Couldn't get them out of the country. Rwanda's out of the country. Got the last 3 bags because it sold out fast. And that will be arriving this week. But it is more than double what I paid for it last week. And that is shipping. Even though it doesn't say shipping, the fact that my raw ingredient went up with garlic is shipping. And that's how inflation is going to go for us, you know. So I'm not seeing any other comments from y'all. That was literally my Garden 30. I did 1 row of garlic. And this week I'm so busy that I don't know that I'm going to do the 2nd row of garlic. I think what I'm going to do is go do the rest of my chores. That'll take me till about 8:30 at night, includes eating dinner. And then I'm going to put my PJs on after a nice shower, an outdoor shower. And I'm going to go to bed early. And tomorrow morning, I'm below you, by the way. Tomorrow morning, when it's super early and I'm awake before anybody else is in the world, except for John Willis, I'm going to get up. I'm going to come out here. I'm going to dig more garlic because it's really nice and cool. However, I can tell you this. These wineberries are ripe. They are so ripe. And I am going to harvest them before I go up to the house. And we are going to have a small handful of wineberries for dessert because I'm only going to get a few handfuls this year because we put a building on these plants. And Mother Nature is so stubborn that they grew anyway. I took some cuttings. So next year, I will have wineberries in my food forest. The cool thing about an apron is that it turns into a wineberry collecting cup. You just pull it up like, you know, if you have a skirt, you can do it too. You make it scoop. But these wineberries are super thorny and super tasty. So they make a really good perimeter fence, by the way. If you want to deter people from coming into your property, they may actually stop and harvest wineberries if they see them. Like I've seen people do that at other people's properties where it's raspberries or whatever. Ooh, more wineberries. And you can put them along your fence line, and it is a thorny hedge of yumminess that becomes a deterrent for somebody to just pop right over your fence and jump on your property. So anyway, okay, so now I have a challenge. So we're gonna have wineberries tonight, and it's like literally 1 handful. So if there are 2 of us, there's half handfuls for everybody. See, can you see them in there? Let's see. I can't tell. I'm just gonna assume that you can see them, or you can see them that way. I don't know. Oh yeah, it's right here. So if we have 3 of us, it will be thirds of handfuls. And if we have 4 holler neighbors, everybody will get a few berries. And you know, really that's enough. It's a little like flash of sweetness. And I got out of here. I know you guys are really disappointed to hear this. I got out of here before the sprinklers turned on because they are scheduled to turn on, I think, pretty soon. And I was going to get soaked. But I got out before then. So we'll just leave this garlic up here. Here's the garlic I got. That's the garlic. So I'm just going to leave it up here because it's not supposed to rain. And I will end up harvesting more garlic in the morning. Look at that. This makes me happy right here. The rest of my wood for the winter is arriving tomorrow or Thursday. I don't know which day, but I bought my firewood this year. So I bought it from Gary. He sells hay too. He's gonna bring some hay. And then we also have Timothy hay arriving. So we have lots of deliveries and a really cool chicken processing workshop where we were able to take everybody off the waiting list and get them set up. So that's gonna make them happy. Yeah, it's gonna be a big weekend. And then Saturday night, we are doing an impromptu. Jenny, who is moving out of the holler for a job opportunity, an impromptu goodbye party, even though she'll be here for a few more weeks and she'll be coming back. And once you're a holler neighbor, by the way, you're always a holler neighbor. So I will be, we'll be doing a few little repairs on the place, and then it'll either be up for rent or we might Airbnb it for a while. It just depends on what happens. Amazing things happen to your hair when you harvest garlic. So anyway, thanks for joining into my Garden 30 accountability hour. I've now got wineberries in a cup and I have lots of garlic. Guys, I hope you do something awesome tonight. If you're just sitting here watching this, ask yourself in the next 15 minutes, what can I go out and accomplish? Is it put away the pile of clothes that I just cleaned? Is it go through a pile of mail? Is it start cooking dinner? Is it clean out the dishes out of the sink? Is it sweep the front porch? Is it something cool like go pick weeds? Think about something you can do for 15 minutes. Run out, get shit done, and write it in the comments. I want to hear about it. Make it a great week.